seed. Hey, I know it's late, but we got to get this going. Yeah. So, hey, if you're out there, go ahead and give me a comment so I know you're watching, that you're here. But we're going to talk about which child you are. And it's important right now in knowing what path you took to get here and why. For the most part, everyone who I've talked to who found me through this channel, you're a starseed. You're not of this earth. Your souls had a chance to develop outside of this earth systems. And it's really important to know which one you are. So if you're here, if you can go ahead and leave a comment. Hey, Jordy. So happy to see you too. All right, good. As long as I get at least one, I'm cool. So yeah, so you guys have heard about starseeds, crystal children, but I'm going to show you guys some things. Hey, Angela, that really, really brings it down, or really, really, I think, the best summary that I've seen on this issue. So I'm going to show some clips of people describing it, and they described it exactly as I've channeled, you know, and honestly, like, I channel my own things for my own life and what's going on. But the reality is, for all the people that I listen to, we get the exact same messages, right? So that's how we know the authenticity of it. When I listen to someone else and it's boom, 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 boom. When I asked, I got the same exact answer. So I know I can trust this person, that they're receiving relatively accurate information. They're hearing it really well. So I want to show you guys something to go with that. So first, we're going to hear about the children. It's about 5 minutes. I'll speed it up just a little bit, so it might be 4 minutes. But so check this out. Now, this is Dolores Cannon. She does quantum healing hypnosis. I really like her. I've done QHHT, as it's known. I would highly recommend it. It's anywhere from $200 to $300 to get it done. And it's worth it because you go into a deep hypnosis state and you talk directly to your higher self. My higher self's sort of interesting. It sounds weird. Your whole voice changes because you're truly channeling them. And it's just a really good thing to do if you want to know your purpose or ask them questions. And it's just been really hard. If you guys have never done this, you know, like, you look at me right now and you're like, I know who I am, but I've done all of these different avenues, and every single avenue gives you a different piece of the certainty of who and what you are, as well as your own dreams and your own visions. But what it is that when you start doing all these different things over time, it just solves one more piece of who you really are, what your spiritual higher self is, what dimension my spiritual higher self is, right? Like, the higher self that I talk to, it's not even like my highest of highest self. It's not even like my 12D self. I generally talk to my 9D self, right? So it's just interesting to know what vibration and density, who's giving you guidance, because they can still give my 3D behind a lot of help and support. So I'm going to play these, and these are about the different children. And it's just, you have to know who you are. So I'm going to play it. Let me know if you can hear it or if you can't.
We live in this universe of dualities. You know, there's...
Let me play it. It starts at 1910.
You know, this is a message we have up and down. There is good and bad here.
Well, you want to rack up your brownie points. You don't want to have the other kind.
Can you guys
exactly
hear it okay?
What I say, Miss Dolores. Rack up those good brownie points.
Okay. Well, Nikki, let's talk about the book. It's Children of the Stars. And I know everybody always thinks of the Indigo children. Of course, I've been told that's not a good name for them. It just has to do with their aura. But it's the special kids. But do you want to tell the listeners how they could tell if they have one of these special children?
Sure.
You know, what are the signs? Something that they
characteristics.
The characteristics.
Well,
stereotypical ones.
Right. Well, you know what? I get a lot of emails from people who have read my book, and they know. People know when they have a special child. Often it
Let me know if you can hear this okay. Hey, Jess, just let me know if you can hear it.
starts out, my child isn't like other kids. Parents tend to really know. You can kind of look at the time frame of when they're born, and certainly some of the characteristics of the indigo children, which we can really call the young adults of today. The biggest thing about them is they're angry.
They're getting to be teenagers now, aren't they?
That's correct. Yeah, they started coming in the 1970s through the 1990s. So that's correct. And they're here for a reason.
You said one of the characteristics is that they're angry, you said.
They're angry, and they're angry for a reason. I don't like to hear, like, my child has a problem, they're angry all the time. Because I always say anger is not a bad thing. Anger is what brings about change. Now, certainly, as a nice civilized society, we can make change in a nice civil way, but it's true that when you're angry, things happen faster. And the biggest example I have is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. MADD, M-A-D-D. This woman's child was killed by a drunk driver, and she got angry, and she changed the law. So anger is not a bad thing. It's really not, especially with the indigo children. These children kind of act like royalty. They know they're here for a reason. They are what I consider spiritual warriors. They don't like deception, and they know when you're lying to them, and they don't like it. All of these star children don't fit in really well with society, just because we've sort of hemmed ourselves into these systems that, no longer serve the good of humanity. We're kind of stagnant in our growth right now. And this is why they're here. They're here to change things. And they do it in different ways. The crystal children, and they started trickling in about 1990 and on up to this year, to 2010. Of course, some of the scouts came earlier than that. But I would say 1990 to 2010 is about the range of the crystal children. And they're exciting. They're considered to be sort of fully developed masters, and they carry this sort of Christ consciousness within them. And they have a purpose as well. They want to reveal our inner power and our higher power and why we're here.
Guess who's a crystal child? I guess I was a scout.
They're very calm children. They like to speak about love and universal healing, and they're just incredible. The newer ones that are coming are the rainbow children. They are just beginning to appear the last couple years. I see a lot more being born now in 2010. But of course, 2008, 2009, rainbow children began to come in. And they're here to help us evolve, to help humanity evolve. And they are, you would know a rainbow child if you saw one. They are just a bundle of love. They are incredibly forgiving. They don't have any karma. They've never been here before. They have got functional families that they're born into. They have incredible healing and telepathic abilities. But parents, they know when they have one of these star children. Like I said, these emails that I get start off with, I know my child is different. I think that they're a star child.
Mm-hmm. I get emails like that all the time too. I've written about them in some of my books, and they're always talking about how advanced they are at a very young age. It's always the same characteristics. So they're definitely out there.
Right.
So Jordy says, well, excited to hear what you have to say about this. And the reality is, they said it so perfectly that there's nothing more to be said, right? It was too fast at the beginning. I think I slowed it down. Thank you, Shanita. Yes. Aaron is a rainbow child. Yes. So all of these things that we do, tell me in the comments, are you a rainbow? Are you an indigo? Or are you just like, nah, man, I'm just a starseed from another planet. That's not me, but I respect the game, right? Because you sort of have an inkling when you heard this, if you fit one of these characteristics or if you don't. So let me know in the comments where you're at. And this was just sort of one of the most perfect explanations, very short and succinct, that I have ever heard. And Dolores Cannon is a boss. So if you guys can see any of her old stuff, everything that I'm channeled, she same thing. And, you know, she's known as like a master, right? Because she's been doing quantum hypnosis for so long. And whenever she does this, like different beings would step forward because they know that she had the ability to tap into that. And so she got a lot of information before, you know, a lot of people. Oh, Desiree, you definitely give me Indigo vibes. That is definitely true. I am 100% a crystal child. And, you know, they don't use the word crystal lightly, because what led me to the spiritual path was crystals. When I wore certain crystals, and it amplified certain aspects of myself. And I was like, I don't do that. Then I looked, I was like, lapis lazuli. Oh my, lapis lazuli, you are amazing. So it's not just that we're crystal children. We truly, deeply resonate with crystals. That was some of the first magic I started using, was crystals and sacred geometry text. When I really got into magic, like using the different elementals, and the elementals I was using were crystals to manifest what I want, and them helping me co-create. So it's not an idle word, but yes, would you say what, you know, fully developed master? You know, I like hearing that. But I do know that when it comes to empowerment and showing people how truly powerful they are, like that is what we are here for. And I'm going to keep saying it until you understand. You know, right now, if they were like, take this V shot or die, I'm like, I guess I'm dying, right? And how can I say that so calmly? First of all, it's just my soul and my nature. I've told you guys in past, like, I looked at some of my past lives with some of my guides, and one of them was like, they put me to death for practicing magic. And I went out with like, whatever, I guess that's happening because you're not telling me I can't practice my gifts. So, you know, so I will do it. And I don't say this lightly. It's like, once you know your history, I know my galactic family. I've seen my galactic family. I've seen other lives that I've lived. They're all pretty dang cool, to be honest. Like, I'm part of the royal court, right? So like, yeah, if I had to stand up and die, it's like, it's a whole different level when you know who you are, because you know what you're going back to. I'm going back to royalty. I'm going back to life. I'm going back to pats on the back for Lisa. You did this earth thing, and you did this earth thing, and you did this earth thing, and you still came out, you know, even if it ended early or if it didn't. And I don't say this lightly. So that's why I'm just going to stress it is so important to start having a sense of self. And I'm going to do a video on like all the different things that people can do, because some of the things you're just, I wasn't aware of, are out there relatively cheap that you can do to start putting the pieces together and seeing the visions of yourself and know who you are on the spiritual level. Once you know who you are, you can't tell Lisa anything, not just because I'm sort of naturally confident. That's like the people on my home planet were like the most arrogant people in the world. Like, I really had to chill and learn how to like deaden that. But it's not just because of that. It's just because I know what and who I am. I know the different lives. I know what I've accomplished in different lives. And once you know that, you can say whatever you want to me. I'm walking in my path and my purpose. And we need everyone to get to that level where it doesn't matter what anyone says. You know why you're here. You know why you're in that family. You know why you were placed there. You know what you're bringing to the table. You know what you needed from them, so that you can assess, did they give it to you or not? My family gave me what I needed, right? I needed love because I was a monster. But like, once you know who you are, your purpose, and these dynamics, it's, sorry for my cat. Once you know all these things, it's just easy to let go of what doesn't serve you, because you know why you're here, what this relationship's for, what the lesson is, then you can go. So I want to show you guys one more other thing. Shanita says, very interesting. I feel as if I'm truly different from normal. I am. And I say this, you know, I talk on this channel about the Black community a lot, about melanated beings, because we are the alpha and the omega. Like, we are the first and we will be the last. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't do what other Black people do. Not in a mean way. Y'all roll this way. I just do this. And I've been comfortable with it because I've been like this since I was a child. And I grew up in a low income area where it's just like, it's a really heavy energy to be like everyone else and conform. And I was like, rather be by myself, homie. I just refuse to not be me. But yeah, I get you, whatever that means. No, so a lot of us and the people, and I'm telling you right now, when I do visions with you guys, when I open up the portal, all of you guys are royalty. All of you are warriors. You guys are top echelon. I do not get people. The only people I attract are spiritual royalty. It just is what it is. I've done this long enough to see who gets me. You guys are goddesses. You guys are high dimensional beings. You're star seeds. I don't attract earth people. Like people who've only had an earth soul and have been in this reincarnation cycle. That's just not who I attract. I only really, up to this point, have attracted star seeds and galactics. So if you're here, you are one. You're wired different. You didn't do the same thing. You're the black sheep or just the weirdo. That's who I attract. It just is what it is. I don't know why. I don't question. I just accept that that's like the soul resonance. And you guys generally find me when you need me because, you know, you're just tuned in to the same thing I'm tuned in. So if you need something, we know how to psychically connect and be like, I can find it here on this channel. So crystals sound parallel to me. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Especially my age range, a lot of us who do get attuned, like, it's not just that we're called crystals, like we really do resonate with crystals. Got to be comfortable with death if you're a healer. Yeah. You know, when bad things happen or an accident, that's the calmest I get, honestly. But that's the healer inside of you. And some of you guys are like everyone can heal, but some of us are like really gifted in the healing arts. And you know what I'm talking about. Everyone can be freaking out, but it's just like a doctor who's on an airplane and something happens. He could be joking and laughing with you. He could be drunk as a skunk, but if someone in the cockpit is having trouble, all that disappears. He goes straight into heal mode, right? Because doctors are Western, but we're still healers. It's still parallel. But yeah, like, you know, you can take what a lot of other people can't take, and you were made that way. And that's another thing about knowing yourself. You know, you look at me crazy because I'm like, I'm a healer, I'm a teacher. But what that does, it just makes so much more sense of why I can react to a situation in a certain way, whereas other people might get flustered. That's when I get the most calm, because that's when I'm most a healer is calm in chaos. It's just part of their psyche. Shanita says, I was adopted, just been, oh, okay. Good luck. When you get the results. I did it as well. I have that tattooed on me since 18, the Alpha and the Omega sign. It called to be, right? Just like the things called to us star seeds and galactics. That's what I'm calling us. We're star seeds and galactic souls. I just do I'm not going to say this in a mean way. I don't say this. I say this with love. The energy and frequency of those who are of the earth, their spirits are of the earth. It's too low for me. The only people, and I'm very sensitive to energy. So if your energy doesn't match, I'm like, all right, bye, boom, cut it off, bye. You know, I'm ruthless. So yeah, so definitely like some of the starseeds who are attracted, like we're going to have those things where like we just know this is important. The Alpha and the Omega, like we're living through this time. 2020 was like the start of a lot of people who are not melanated are going to find out like there's consequences to them not learning how to love. And also, if you look at my video, Channeling the Seven Rays, that I did with Melina, she also goes into, you know, each ray, and, you know, we're in the blue and the purple ray, the melanated beings, and, you know, how we're the first and the last and what's going on. So I would check that out. It's on my channel, maybe like a month back. Jordy says, I spent the past week with my extended family and truly realized that a lot of these relationships are illusions. Yeah, and you know, it's not bad. Once you know your purpose and who you're here and so when I don't just do I like find out who I am, but I also do my families, because then I'm like, oh, my older brother was a mentor. My mom showed me love and femininity. And my dad was just a warrior who he wasn't like, he just had a purpose. And my brother was here to do this. And my sister was here to show me this. And I learned about financial struggle through my other sister. You really start understanding what they're there for. And so what makes it is that you can cut ties and for things that are outside of that a little easier. And not in a mean way. Like, I don't hate them, but like, I realize that like, they're not going to ever see the financial part of me. They're not going to see, my sister will see the spiritual part of me, but the other 6 brothers and sisters will never, right? Like you start to understand from their placements what you will be able to resonate on, but like completely won't. So I don't even try to go there. You know, I'm just trying to get my sister, the one who shows me about struggle and poverty, like put $5 a month in Bitcoin. That's all I'm trying to do. We're not having any deeper conversation. But once you know yourself and them, you can start like, it's a better way of categorizing. Oh, well, I learned all these things through them. And that helps me now because I know my purpose is financial empowerment and spiritual empowerment. And I got this and this and this from the different family members. That's why it's important too, because then it just makes your relationship better because you can place better what the purpose was. Jess says, I'm definitely a crystal starseed. I only collect galactics and star seeds, the earth souls. So if you're here, you are. I'm just saying the Earth souls, I say this with love, their resonance is just too low for me. Like, we just don't gel. They can't see. And that's the thing. That's what us star seeds are here for, right? We were here to be wired to go against the programming that Earth souls are so embedded in, right? Hey, Netta. That's my sister, Netta. So I learned a lot from my family. I have 6 brothers and sisters. And that's exactly what I needed to get the growth and development. And they really humbled me because I was just like a smart ass. And they were just like, no. And 6 brothers and sisters will get that out of you. But I needed that like training so I can go on and be the person I needed to be, right? Like they helped it. Jordy says, crystals changed everything for me. Yes, yes. And if you're here, like I said, I'm not some low-level spiritual teacher. Like I'm talking about activations and God's source and manifesting on a different level. Like I'm not low level, so only starseeds and galactics really have the ability, unless the Earth soul really had come to Jesus moment and really awaken, are able to even tune into me and find me. But that's okay, because sometimes the people I'm attracted to are like queens and kings and from the galaxies they're from. And, like if I empower a king or queen with just much, well, she has a whole tribe of people on this earth who are waiting for her to step into her power. So Jess says, I've always felt like I was just dropped on Earth. It's been so difficult to try to experience this Earth dimension when I feel like it's not my home. Yes, boob. Yeah, all I can say is just, for me, and you'll hear me say this, manifest the life you want, because that's what we're here. We're here to hold a light, have joy, and manifest. And I love Earth. Like I even learned the ridiculous part and the non-ridiculous, because I'm just creating my life going, and I'm a bit detached, right? I'm a Pisces. By the time you get to Pisces, you can just detach and be like, it's a polarized world. Look, either, live your life or not. But like, I get not being like different, but I would just say you can channel that to like, well, what would make you comfortable and go for it and know you deserve it. Right. This is mind blowing. I was talking about this. Yes. And like I said, the reason I showed you that scene was because I've never heard in 5 minutes it summarized so correctly. If I go back, I think her name is Nikki Patillo, right? P-A-T. Let me put this in the chat because she's written books about it. If you want to look it up, I at this moment don't feel the need to look it up. Oh, you're a healer, Leslie. Oh, me too. So you don't get flustered, huh? You can see anything. Which one? Well, you know who I'm talking about. The one who taught me how like the struggle, Black people struggle, financial struggles. You know who I'm talking about, Netta. I know my purpose is my voice. I sing, I counsel individuals. Oh, so you have a highly developed throat chakra, sis, right? A beautifully developed throat chakra. And hey, I resonate with that. I have a very strong throat chakra too. So I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. Like some of us, like you, like me, there's power in our voices. Speaking things into existence is easy for us. And we don't have to speak it a lot either. Like, I'm a Cancer. Oh, good. On the cycle, I was just reading about astrology and people coming into their own power. And, Cancers are fun because it's like one of the first water signs in the zodiac. And it's like just when people start to get really in tune with their intuition in the cycle, right? Then by the time you're a Pisces, you're completely detached and like, whatever, let me do my own thing. But yeah, Cancer for this cycle, because then you go to the top and then you start over again, hopefully with the renewed, evolved soul. And it just keeps going at a constant growth evolution. So yeah, Aquarius. Oh, love Aquariuses. My mom was an Aquarius. She did teach me, it's good to know what they're there for. My mom did teach me about giving back to society and being a good person in society. And my mom was the mom, we're like in the ghetto, but she's like, you take this cart back. You do not litter on the ground. You do not steal, right? And so in the midst of like a low-income area where there is a big segment that would do all of those things and they didn't care and they would litter, my mom was like, that's not how you do it. You give what you get. She was an Aquarius too. So that's why it's so important to know who you are and then look at your family, because then you can figure it out. Then you don't get invested. It's easy to let go because you're like, well, I'm not really here to go to my sister this for advice on this. If I need spiritual assistance, boom. I know which sister, cousin member to go to, or I know who, like, I'll never be able to relate on this, Aries sun, Sag rising. Oh, Desiree. the Scorpio. Whew. Y'all are the most intuitive people. She is the wise one. Oh, who, me? Well, I went from little sister to now they sort of listen to what I have to say. They don't follow it, but I at least put it out into the air. I want to show you guys one more thing about the importance of who you are. All of you guys. I'm gonna keep stressing how important you guys are. You don't know. Like, and if you knew, you'd act like it. You would talk like it and you'd walk like it. Oh, you always had a warrior spirit too. Yeah, it's funny. I'm like, you're not just one thing, right? But I'm a warrior and a healer and a teacher and a manifester, whatever. They call it magician, like the three magi's magician. Oh, mom and you. Yeah. Oh, mom was the wise one. Yeah, she was. Still to this day, I still listen to my mom. And funny things, if I need advice on like a spiritual level, I swear my guides talk to her. Because if I'm like, what am I going to do? I get a call from her. She's like, Lisa, you know what you should do? And it's not that anyone told her. She just can hear the spirit and goes, something in my spirit tells me to tell my daughter and talk to her about this. And I was like, that's exactly what I needed. So I really appreciate her. She's like oddly tuned in because in other parts of her life, you don't see it. But in other parts, she's like right in alignment with the Aquarius that I needed to make sure that because I came, when you're different and you think everything, when I was younger, everything was, why are you being so stupid? Right? You're stupid. Everyone's stupid. No one can see. I was so terrible. And so when you're young, I just know that I was like, why can't you see that that's dumb? Like, why can't you see to take it off? Right. And that was just before I had my own learning experiences. So, I needed a tribe of people who could sort of bring that down and be like, Lisa, you don't understand. This is what people go through. Like, I needed that because, without the compassion, you go towards like, everyone gets what they deserve. I'm not helping anyone, and this is just me naturally as a, you're your spirit, right? You're just being yourself and you're a starseed and everyone around you is like being ridiculous and you don't understand why they keep getting in trouble and they don't see this and they don't get themselves out. And so without the compassion, you could be a monster, right? And so I really had to learn compassion. And so, so let me show you this one thing. And I've said this before because this is what I channeled from my spirit guides, but this right here sort of sums it up. If you look at like all the past years of videos, like everything this woman's going to say is what I've channeled and tried to get out on what's going on. So let me share my screen. And this one's a lot quicker, but it's important. So this one. All right.
Creating it. You have become the pearl of God's creation.
So why? You're saying you chose to be here. Mm-hmm. You chose this school.
Mm-hmm.
You're going, after you hear all this, why? Why did I do that? Goodness gracious. Okay, so I'm going to give a little perspective. This is some stuff I was given. The beginning of it is something that was from another one of our authors, Julia Hansen. She wrote Awakening to Your Creation. And what she has said is, this is the densest, most challenging planet of all the planets in the universe to live in. Move on. And then this is the most challenging universe of all the universes to live in. Move on. So right there, there's something special about this little planet. How did it get to be that way, right? Okay, there's something special, and then we're here. Okay, so there's something special about that. It's not by accident, it's by design. In order to get the golden ticket to step foot on this planet, just to be here, you have to be a master manifester. Not just anybody can come here and handle this, what's going on here. You have to be a master manifester. So that's why I have a problem with bottom feeders. Okay, we're masters. We aren't just anybody. So it's like, so go ahead and do that.
God had no other way of doing it.
Oh, goodness. And if you guys want to watch this video, it's actually a really good one. So let me stop the share. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? So the densest planet and the densest universe, we chose to come here. We chose to come here with the idea that we'd find our light, we'd find our joy and our purpose by listening to ourselves. Right? You guys are like, yes. Right? Yes. Yeah. Yes, Jordy. Yeah, I agree. Right? Did you guys hear this? This is the densest planet. And I already knew this before I heard it, but everything she said summed it up perfectly. And the densest universe. So when I say only kings and queens are attracted to my starseed, to my tribe, yeah, because they came from all over. And so a quick sum, and I actually understand it. I actually understand it. Because God created all of this, right? And in most galaxies, it's like 5D, 60, 70, still lessons to learn, but not as hard. So he said, we'll give you a free will universe, but it's free will, right? We'll try to help. We'll try to do this, but it is a free will universe. I get that he is, the words they use is curious. I get that. Like if everything's always good, like you want to see what can happen when people are given free will, but then someone hijacks it and convinces and programs everyone of the earth souls. And they're in this stuck cycle and it's low vibrational and it gets lower and lower. And then they send all these star seeds, and some of the star seeds, the wiring is strong. And we make it, we fight through all the programming that people try to place on us. And we go, no, I know who I am. You're not going to place me. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to tell me to sit down and just do what you want me to do. And some got lost, right? So if you're here right now, I'm saying this because, why am I saying this? It's just, I don't think you guys understand how important it is that you are awake. So many people did not make it. And the one thing you have to do is find out who you are, what your purpose is, and live in joy. Literally, because I kept asking my guides, that's it. Just live in joy. You came here in this dense planet to raise the vibration by living in joy and purpose and finding out and remembering who you are. It's not hard. Now, when you're at a good level, you will start earning a living and abundance through a gift that you're good at and that helps people. That's your ikiga. I'm going to have to do a video on ikiga. It's like the Japanese terms of like how to find your purpose by like what you're good at versus what you're passionate about versus what's good for other people that you're good at, right? And you want to find that crossroad. But that's all we have to do. That's all we have to do is know how powerful we are, live in joy. And this is like the hardest lesson. Some of y'all don't believe you deserve joy. That's literally the only thing you're here to do. That is why you're wired to be different. You're wired not to sit up and just take whatever they gave you. You're wired to see things that others who are of this earth soul just couldn't see, right? Now, my sister, she's an earth soul. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah, like two of my brothers and sisters, 3, 4, I know at least 4 of them are starseeds. One of my sisters, like legit earth soul. Love her, don't get me wrong. I think 2 of them are earth souls, right? They're not starseeds. So, they're around our influence, which helps them get to, actually the funny thing is my older brother and one of my soulmates, I got 9 of them. They're actually from the same soul planet. They're like the energy signature is the exact same, right? Once it's easy to identify people from certain planets. Well, once I channel and I know it and I figure it out, then I can recognize it anywhere. Other ones I'd have to like dig deep and do a channeling session. But once I do, it's sunny. It's just like an energy signature I can recognize. So yeah, like that's all we have to do. But I showed that to show that is true, as she says. Like it is about we are the strongest of the strong. And listen, and I said this last time, I'm excited to be going to 5D Earth. You know how hard this Earth school is? And so when she puts the densest planet in the densest universe, because he's like, let this experiment go, it can get hijacked. And if you don't know sense of self, it can. But we came here, we're like, we'll anchor the light. We'll anchor the light. There's people who came before me, people who came before them on a long road. But I have to tell you, us crystal children, us indigo children, us rainbow children. My daughter is pure rainbow. I think she's like a goddess soul. Pure rainbow. Like all of us came here, we are extremely strong to get and to move the place to cross the threshold, and we crossed it to go into 5D Earth. Now it's sad we're not bringing the others along, but hey, I think God wants to see how far it can go. Like, where does this go? The light does always win. He's always taking it out, Mother, Father, God, if you want to call it that, with the duality. But yeah, so that is what we're here for. Sorry, the spirit's moving me. So like my spirit's coming out and doing a healing. Sorry about that. But sometimes if I really like say some truth, then like this love and energy comes out of my hands. And so, yeah, that's like, be happy that you made it here. Like, if you're on my channel, you're awakened and you're on your way, and we did our job. We're going to continue to do our job, but like, literally give yourself a pat on the back. It is not easy to get to this point. Now, like I said, I've always been wired differently, and I always looking at people like, why y'all doing that? That don't make any sense. Like I've gotten quite comfortable just sitting back and like, I'm not doing that. I don't care. I'm different. So what? Like, I got quite used to that. But like, maybe some of you guys did or did not. And so it is a big deal that you're here, and you should be congratulating yourself. And this isn't easy. Look at how many people were deceived into the programming, into the mind control, and didn't wake up. So you guys are very powerful and strong. And I'm not just saying that to gas you up. Like, if you don't understand that I truly believe that for myself and for you, and I'm really extremely, like, you should all be extremely proud of yourselves. Not easy. And what I did to get here has not been easy. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, and I'm not even where I want to be yet. Like, I've been in this for like 4 years with daily, but still, like, the work we put in to wake up and be ourselves and live in joy is something that we should never, like, ever take for granted, or just not understand, like, how important it is that we got this far. Like, literally this far. You get no more farther. It is so important you got this far when so many people could not wake up. And there's a lot of starseeds and galactics that are lost in this matrix, right? And they're going to have to play out another 26,000 year cycle. Karen says, my favorite cartoon is a bunny sitting in the middle of a massive quantities of carrots. Manifestation level expert. I agree. I love the children's movie, The Dark Crystal. I got to check that out. Howard Jones wrote a beautiful song about this 30 years ago. Wish I remember the title. Let us know if you do. How do you raise your level? Now, me specifically, everyone's different, right? Like, I've never been the love and light type. Now, I am compassionate because I've had to learn it. Like, I do have compassion, I do, but that's not the start. Like, I raise my vibration by knowing I can manifest whatever I want. So if I don't like something, I think of what I do like and I work on that, right? Either physically or just magically, or now, when I do my manifestation, I do it now in a more mental way to bring it about. And I'm working on the spiritual realm to bring it about. So it's a different level. But so because of that, I always just found what I did like, and I focused on what I did like, right? I did not raise my vibration necessarily by being all love and light. Now, as I did a lot of the energy and angelic energy work to heal a lot of what was going on inside, once you heal these emotional trauma, and I just did it energetically through, the work that I do when I do healing is through channeling my soul's power, as well as the chi of your soul, as well as healing the different chakra systems. So I had also raised because I dealt with all of those things. So every time I had a session, they were like, you either have to deal with it, or I was dealing, and I brought it to my guides, and they were like, this is what we need to do. So every time you heal a different part of yourself, that's just, once you heal it, it doesn't get triggered. Once you heal it, you react differently. Once you heal it, you can see the lesson. So that naturally raised my vibration, just dealing with all the past trauma. And you just get to the point where it's all released. You healed it. You released it. You transmuted fear, pain, anxiety, embarrassment, shame. You've transmuted and dealt with it. And it's from the inside out. And so you did it with a learning lesson. So when you heal from the inside, that's just going to naturally raise, because you just don't have that dense energy. If I find dense energy now, I'm like, oh, let me remove it, because it's not a whole bunch of density. It's just like peeling back these layers. So if you do that, in addition to doing energy work, in addition to focusing on what you do want, it just keeps you at a high level. So I would say a big thing is like your internal healing is going to raise you, because not only do you heal, but you see the lesson. And so you're not apt to repeat it. So when I'm in that situation, you're not going to pull me to that place. And so I would say your healing from the inside is going to be really big, because you literally cannot revert, because you learned. It's like what color is my rainbow book? It's funny, Desiree, because every time your pictures, there's rainbows everywhere. Like, your kids, your family, like you just seem, I don't know. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like it's happy, cheerful, rainbow, bright, you know, all colors inclusive really seems to be like your energy signature. I'm so over this timeline. Hey, until we're there, we got to keep the vibe high. So just manifest what you want. Listen. I think it's because I'm not the love and life type that like I'm doing so well, because I'm not like, oh, spirituality means I need to be poor. I'm like, no, I came to America. you know, you know what I mean? Taurus is in my Venus house. I like luxury. I like nice things. Let's make money. And then when I make the money, I want to go on yachts and I want to go on cruises and I want to visit New Zealand. And so I don't know, like I have so many wants on this earth. Probably because I've had so many lifetimes here that I'm like, yeah, I like this place, right? That like I'm okay. And like I know this timeline sucks, but the thing is, it doesn't affect me because I just sort of focus on me and let y'all do what y'all need to do. Listen. So I'm just saying, I love Earth. I love this crazy timeline because I'm gonna tell you this: it's the densest planet in the densest universe. But guess what? That you came here because you don't grow when you're in 5D and it's all love and light. You don't grow, not the way you do here. So I'm just going to say, I get it. It's sad, but I've detached from that. That's their journey, right? I'm just going to attract the people who are awake. If they want to hear what I have to say from what I channel and what I've gone through, what I've healed and learned, I'm more than happy to share if you guys haven't noticed, because it's not, what's the point if I'm not bringing, if we're not bringing as many people along as possible, right? But I don't know, man. Earth's amazing. I love this school. And I want money and I want riches and I want to travel the world. And I'm, I don't do it the way I would like to, but I do it within the means of what I can. So timeline is sad, but detached. Like I said, you might have missed the other live I did, but like watch my video. Not everyone deserves 5D Earth. 5D Earth needs people who knows how to keep their vibration high. It needs people who can raise their vibration regardless of what's going on the outside. They can still be like, it's pretty cool over here, right? They need people to be able to come back to center and not need outside influences to do it. So, I don't know. So this timeline, whatever, but like in 5D Earth, we also have to have the ability to always find joy and keep a high vibration so we don't revert back and fall back. Although from what I've heard, they're going to do something so we can't do it because they're not revisiting this. It took too many years and cycles. Speak queen. Thank you, Leslie. On a dense planet and being an anchor is not easy being of the light. That's what I'm saying. Give yourself a round of applause if you got out the matrix, okay? It's not easy. And we have a lot of our warriors who took that V shot, right? So we have a lot of our warriors who did not see through the illusion and the programming and, did not heed the call of their wiring. And it's sad because they're wonderful people. Desiree said, this is why I guide people in shadow work. It's pure freedom. Yeah, so I guess that is the shadow work. Yeah, once you do it, you don't go back. And when you don't go back, like your vibration's just going to be high because you've done all the healing, So it's honestly my jam. So yeah, that I'm not love and light though. Yeah, you are. Yeah, I really do get like rainbows and fun and everybody's included. Like your energy just shouts it. Like, like just your whole lifestyle, your vibe, like the energy in which you walk in. But yeah, nope, not love and light. And I'm a warrior. So, I came here on a mission. I'm completing the mission. I like to say my spiritual self is like a badass warrior. Like, she got a staff. She's running shit. Like, she's running things. She's telling people what to do. She's commanding fights. Like that. Like, you got to know who your spiritual self is. Like, and so I look and see all the fights I was in and how I was so into conflict. But like, that came from a place of strength. So instead of having shame about all those past incidences that maybe could have went another way, I'm just like, but that's how warriors do. And like, what I had to learn was how to temper it with maturity, which finally I started getting some points on. But yeah, like, look, I'm not loving, like, I do love, but I'm not all love and light because a warrior needs to fight. Like, everyone tried to, like, I'm telling you, in my life, being from where I'm from, growing up, and trying to travel and go up the financial ladder, everyone tried to tell me who and what I was and what place I should be. And it was always beneath them. And so, like, I'm not all love and light because I wasn't going to love you to death. No, I fought you and I won. Have a couple discrimination lawsuits I won. Okay. Got a few people fired because they didn't know how to treat Black people right. Okay. I'm that person. Like, you don't play with me. So I don't say that lightly, but like, it's okay. Like, I'm still like pretty high vibration, but you don't all have to do it through love and light. That's maybe yours, Juge, but it's not necessarily ours. I did it through manifesting, knowing my worth, doing my healing work, right? And honoring the fact that I am a warrior, because that got me through a lot of people who wanted to place me beneath them. And I just refuse. And look, I didn't always yell about it. They didn't know who they were up against because, you know, I was like, okay. But then I went and did what I needed to do and got things done. But yeah, like I honor my warrior. I love my warrior. As melanated beings on this planet, like if you're melanated in a starseed, you need to be a warrior. They're not going to just let you come up in here and shed your light. They're going to tell you, get down and get in your place. Because racism, if you saw my video on like Black people, melanated people are here to save white people, like there is literally a thing that us starseeds, us of the sun, right, came down here to help the programmed, the human souls. You know what I mean? Like, and racism is their biggest thing that they need to learn how to remove out of their system, right? And so a galactic starseed who's melanated, you need to be a warrior, right? Because they are going to slap you down so you get in line. So they can use us as they do for cheap labor, for this, for our influence, for our music, but never more than that, and our place and nothing more, right? So don't love and light me. I love and light now, but like, I honor the warrior that got me here, and I honor the healing that I did inside that got me to this place, and the work I've done in awakening, right? So just be proud of who you are, right? And like I said, I know I'm a warrior, so if I do warrior things or I want to fight or I got to lay hands, like I honor the fact that that's how I'm built. Like I'm built to fight through BS, and I'm here to win, right? Like I'm here to fight to the BS until the mission is accomplished. I don't say that lightly. If you're a warrior, you know what I'm talking about, because once you have a mission, the mission needs to be completed. Nothing gets in your way. It's a very powerful thing to be, and I honor it. So, but you know, I'm not going to go around now that I'm at the place that I'm at. Like, I'm not going to go around spreading hate because, like I said, I've healed that inside of me. And if I see it happening, you're not taking me there to get involved or get dragged by down. Oh, the tests do get bigger, Karen. So if you guys haven't seen me in a while, that's because I'm getting, getting a lot of tests. I don't even want to tell you guys some of them because I'm like, I think I got yelled at by an archangel. So the tests get bigger and bigger. I asked them to do some things. They're like, you can't ask us to do that with my ex-husband. I was like, sorry. Saying I walk with a sword and armor. Girl, I do, and I love it. And I'm still going to ascend because I'm on mission. And don't get in my way, all right? The mission will be completed, even if part of the mission is like service to others and the other parts like healing myself and the other parts awakening. Mission will be completed. Jess says, I honestly don't trust medical things these days. I don't either. And how they're always pushing some drug down your throat. And that's not by accident because it deadens your soul. Instead, we need to be activating our DNA so we can heal ourselves. Yes, ma'am. And I have some DNA activations I've done too, if you're interested. I have a DNA and a light body and Ascension code activation. I'm actually, if you want to look on mysoulpoweredlife.com and look under like my workshops, recommend it if you want to fast track the energetic aspect of it, which honestly, if you fix it from the energetic level, you change. That's why the healing I did energetically was like, once you heal that, like it goes from the inside out, not the other way around, not the outside in. Karen says exactly, but we can still learn from each other. I need to learn from warriors. Yeah. And like my mom's a lover. I had to learn to like love and the compassion and humanity, right? So we all, it's, because I'm too, when I was younger, I was too much of a warrior. That's what I know what my family was for. They really calmed that down because I thought everybody was stupid and I like to fight. So imagine my conflicts, right? And so my family originally helped soften my edges. I had some rough edges. But yeah, we all should be learning from each other. I just refer to myself as Hugh, man. Okay, Mrs. Okay. I like that. Can you train with your archangels? Asking for a friend. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to do a healing workshop for those who want to tap into their energetic healing within themselves to bring their higher self in to do healings the way that I do. Like I started with the archangels and then I can heal with any entity. Like it could be a dragon, it could be an archangel, it could be a mermaid. I can heal with any spiritual being I allow in. But now I'm actually getting to the point because I've been conked over the head that like all my healing is coming from my higher self. So that's how I'm going to be teaching it, how your higher self can heal. Literally feel the energy coming through. I would do healings with the people. I just had this thought last night, but you can do it with the archangels as well, you know, but I'm actually thinking of doing where you guys can activate that healing energy. And if you've done any of my healings online, you felt them, right? This isn't a joke. This isn't a game. This is real life. We have these powers to heal ourselves from the inside out. And what I would suggest is every day, this is what I did for a year. Every day I would ask the archangels when I was working with them, but I do it with my higher self now. I'm like, let's do a healing for my highest good. And I was, you know, and I just let them go like, okay, today we're working on the heart chakra. Here we're working on the root chakra, you know, and every day they just sort of had a guidance of what needed the most attention. And you can do that with your higher self every day, because I do it like, hey, what do we need to work on next? What's next in the healing? And like Karen says, I mean, it does get more challenging. So if you guys don't hear from me, that means I'm dealing with some stuff that I'm like, I gotta work through. Okay. So yeah, Leslie, go to my soul powered life and then work on doing the workshops. Yes, I'm actually gonna so I have a DNA workshop, a light body activation. It's like $67. Someone just signed up for it. So I'm actually gonna meet with her tomorrow, and every 2 days we're gonna do a detox and cleansing, because that's really important, because this is very high vibrational. And then the next one's going to be a DNA activation for Ascension, right? So specific Ascension codes. Like we're all getting some, but this is going to go whatever you've gotten already, plus, you know, higher level. And then we're going to do the light body activation. Once you do the light body activation, that's definitely what's called you're getting in touch with your God source, which will make manifesting go like that. Like that. Y'all don't even understand. So if you want to look at my soul powered life for that, I feel on fire, my hands when I pray. So yes, that is your first. The tingling hands is the first. That was my first sign. When you're doing these things, that you have the healing hands. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for tuning in. I might do another one on another learning lesson that I had to come to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right after this. So stay tuned if you'd like to hear about it. It's about having compassion for the people who did take the V shot. We're just gonna call it V shot or Kool-Aid. You guys will know what I'm talking about, because I can't really say it because I don't want to get censored. And you know what they're going through and how the separation that needs to occur, but doing it, what I had to learn, with love, not hate, not judgment, not shame, not resentment. So I'm going to hop back on. Thank you guys for coming along for this ride. If you did not see the first part, please go back and listen to the recordings, because it really iterates what we're here for, what we're doing here, and how important we really are. Like, I don't look at myself as unimportant in Ascension. I look at myself as very important, but I need you to look at yourself as very important. Like, we are inserted. Us doing our job made the difference and is making the difference. And I really wanted to hit that home. So I love you guys, and I'm going to come right back on. Bye.